I really need to figure out a way to make these to be less wordy. So let's finish this up with the Latin American revolutions. So now we're going to look at South America and Mexico. So Latin American revolutions were definitely shaped by what they saw in America, France, or North America, France, and Haiti. What I should tell you is in North America, you had the middle class, the bourgeoisie, the middle class, uh, you know, stepping up to fight because they felt personally attacked. Whereas in France and Haiti, you had literally everybody from the ground up saying, yeah, no, we ain't having this. So the French and the Haitian revolutions were very much more like a proletariat stepping up and fighting the bourgeoisie versus the bourgeoisie, fighting the aristocracy. If you don't know those words, ask me and I will, be more than happy to tell you. So the native born elites, what does this have to do with Latin America? So the native born elites in the Spanish colonies were known as Creoles. These Creoles were, insulted by the Spanish monarchy's efforts in the 18th century to exercise greater power over the colonies. See where I'm going here? So Spain tried to subject them to heavier taxes and tariffs. Creole intellectuals had become familiar with the ideas of the Enlightenment. Like this is like page from page, right? So there was these new hierarchies that emerged when New Spain was established. You had provinciales, who were the Spaniards who were born in Spain but came to the New World. You had the Creoles that were born to Spanish parents, but like first generation here. And then you had the mestizos and the mulattoes, and then the Native Americans, and then the enslaved people. And Spain was the one who brought, as you saw, the Las Castas here, that really had this social distinction based off of skin color. And this hierarchy is freaking terrible. All right, so the revolution occurred after the North American revolutions because settlers in Spanish colonies had no tradition of self-government that we would see in North America, which resulted in this, hey, we just want to maintain our way of life. So society was far more divided by class. So whites outnumbered the Native Americans, people of African descent, and also those of mixed race. So all of this inhibited the growth of an independence movement. And then you also had the instability that was caused by Napoleon's invasion of Spain and Portugal that forced many Latin Americans to take action. So the Spanish king was disposed and the Portuguese royal family was exiled to Brazil. So there was a lot of unrest and uncertainty already. The revolutions tended to last twice as long in Latin American societies because they were so divided by class, race, and religion. In Mexico, the move towards independence actually began in 1810 in a peasant insurrection that was driven by hunger for land and high, food prices that were led by two priests, Miguel Hidalgo and Jose Morales. Alarmed by the social radicalism of these two men, Creole landowners, with the support of the church, actually raised an army and crushed the insurgency. Later, the alliance of the clergy and the Creole elites brought Mexico to a more socially controlled independence movement in 1821. And there was such violent conflict among Latin Americans. There was this long line of race, class, and ideology that brought about so many struggles against Spain in many places. It just brought out all of that intensity in so many places. Now, so you have all of these newly imagined national communities often linked by a new identity. So you see this call for national unification or liberation. You see this in the Philippines. You see this in the Maori nationalism in New Zealand, in Puerto Rico. You have the German and Italian unifications. You also have the Balkans and the Ottomans. which we will talk about later on. But I wanted to go ahead and introduce you because all of these movements did one thing, and that was the ability to unify everybody together. I guess I should have just tacked this one on to the last one. My bad, guys. I'll do better next time.